Welcome to another Religious Education 5-minute recap video. We're on the exam board Eduqas. We're looking at foundational Catholic theology and we're exploring the good and the evil unit. Today's session is going to focus upon pilgrimages, and I'm hoping by the end of it you can explain what a pilgrimage is and also think about why they're important to Catholics. So first of all, what is a pilgrimage then? Well, a pilgrimage, basically it's a journey to a holy place. You might travel far for it, you might not stay within the same country. But some examples include things such as Bethlehem, birthplace of Jesus, people might go and visit that. Jerusalem, obviously where Jesus had his ministry, where he had his passion, and then eventually he died and resurrected. Rome, which is obviously the home of the Vatican and the Pope. Lourdes, which is in France, where Mary appeared to a young woman, Bernadette. There's Fatima in Portugal, and then there's Walsingham in England. Now, you may choose to go on a journey to one of these places for a number of reasons, but we're going to try and focus on a few. So Catholics, they'll go on a pilgrimage for a number of reasons. First and foremost, they want to connect with God through prayer. They may pray for themselves, or they may pray for the sick, or they may pray because they've got a particular problem that they're facing. They also go on a pilgrimage because they want to show thanks to God. It's a way to dedicate time and attention to him and show that appreciation, a form of adoration. Also, it's a way that you can show sorrow for sins. So maybe it's an act of penance that you might have to do. So you're making up for mistakes or sins that have been committed. And finally, it can help to feel part of a community. And that might therefore lead to some sort of spiritual, emotional, or even physical healing. So is there any evidence of pilgrimages then? Well, first and foremost, you can follow the example of Jesus. So in the Bible, we find that during Jesus' life, he went on pilgrimages with his family. And in the Gospel of Luke, it says every year Jesus' parents went to Jerusalem for the festival of the Passover. Also, the church teaches in the Catechism that pilgrimages evoke our earthly journey towards heaven and are traditionally very special occasions for renewal in prayer. So two key points here. Number one, Jesus did it, you follow his example. And secondly, the church teaches that it's a good thing to do to help you pray and connect with God. Now, we're going to focus on Lourdes in particular because it's the most popular pilgrimage for Catholics. It's located in France, and it's where Mary appeared to a young girl, Bernadette Soubirous. Now, Mary told her to dig for a spring of water in the floor, and that started to flow forth with water, and it's still flowing to this day. And it's believed that it has healing qualities. Now, really similar to how we've explored before, but pilgrimage to Lourdes, you're going to go there to connect with God through prayer, to pray for the sick and to show thanks, to dedicate time, to show sorrow, be part of that community and also seek healing. But I'm going to focus on three ones for Lourdes in particular. First of all, praying for yourself or for the sick. I'm going to explore this idea of helping you to feel part of a community. And finally, this idea of healing. So first of all, this idea of praying for themselves or the sick. Well, many pilgrims will go to Lourdes to connect with God, to seek support with their suffering or their illnesses. Pilgrims are going to pray to Mary to ask her to pass on those prayers to God. They're called intercessions, and that will help them to face or to cope with any problems that they do have. Secondly, going to Lourdes is going to help people feel a part of a community. There's lots of volunteers who go to Lourdes, and people live out that example of Jesus by helping and supporting the most vulnerable, and that follows his teaching of love thy neighbour. Also, everyone's treated equally there. All are brought together in one big community, and that fulfills St. Paul's teaching that everybody, no matter who you are, is one in the body of Christ. And also, people go there to seek spiritual, emotional, physical healing. Now, miracle healings have been reported at Lourdes during the Mass, but people will drink and they will bathe in the waters of Lourdes in the hope that they will receive some healing. But even those who are not healed, they do come back feeling at peace and that they're able to cope with the problems that they face. And often by offering this suffering to God, it actually helps people to cope with their lives. And that links to a teaching of Salvifici Doloris, which comes from Pope John Paul II, now St. John Paul, who taught that if we offer our suffering to God, then we can be connected with him and we can also cope with it better. So look down this checklist, see if you can link these key terms or these key words to the idea of pilgrimage. If you can do that, then you've been successful. If you find it a little bit tough, maybe go back through the video, pause it, restart, and just check your understanding of it, because there was a lot of information and evidence there. If you want to push yourself a little bit further, there are some exam questions on the screen for you. Whatever you get up to, good luck and thank you for listening.